Hey, welcome back to the Usable Marketing Podcast, and today we're talking about mindset again. So here's what I have been thinking. Can you see this? Failure is never final. And what do I mean by this? You know, in a marketing context specifically, I think sometimes we launch campaigns or a landing page or a new product or whatever it is, and we're like, oh man, that just didn't work, right? And what we have to be careful about doing is, are we classifying it as a failure, right? So my rule is it's never, ever, ever a failure. It's kind of an insight or it's a learning, right? Because when we're talking about marketing, I'll tell you something that's way more powerful than ever accepting anything as a failure, and that's like data, right? Data can obliterate fear. It can obliterate apprehension. Like when you go and take a look at, okay, what exactly is going on? Why isn't this performing as I expected, right? That's basically where we get the even concept of failure, right? There was an expectation. We didn't somehow meet the expectation, and therefore it's a failure. So what we have to do is get really curious and think about, well, why did this not perform in the way that I expected it, right? And for that, you need to go and first examine what were your assumptions, right? My assumptions might have been, if I target these people and I send them here and I give them a good offer, they're gonna do what I expect them to do. Well, you might need to go and figure out, like, first of all, were my assumptions correct? And for that, listen, classic A/B testing or split testing is really important. I encourage you to split test everything. Just do a control on everything, right? If you're targeting one segment, set another segment as a control so you can just see which one performs, right? If you're doing a landing page, do one and do another version to see which one performs. If you're doing an ad, do one version of creative and another version of creative that to see which one performs, or a different headline or a different call to action or whatever it is. But curiosity can crush failure if you're willing to go and examine what's going on, right? So I would say take a look at all of your funnel mechanics from top to bottom. Diagnose where the problem is. Is the problem that I just don't have enough awareness? For most marketers, or for most owners or folks selling products or services, the biggest problem is not a bad product or service. It's just that there's not enough awareness, right? So I say obscurity is the enemy of success all the time, right? So first of all, if you don't have enough awareness, figure out what your awareness strategy is. Do I need to go advertise? Do I need to build referrals? What exactly is your awareness strategy? If you're throwing awareness and you're getting traffic to your site, if you're marketing a site, which everyone needs a site at some point, if you're throwing enough traffic to your site but nobody is converting or opting in, ask yourself, another big problem, did you even give them an opportunity to do that? Like, what exactly were you trying to accomplish from your site? If you don't have a very clear action that folks are supposed to take that they can see, you may be like, well, why aren't people calling me and giving me business? And it's like, well, are you telling them, call here, book your appointment here, doing a calendar integration or whatever it is that you have to do? But if people are going to your site and they're not converting, take a look at that page. What's wrong? What do you need to do? How do you fulfill? I talked about this last week. How do you fulfill on the promise that you gave them in the ad? If people are converting but they're not going to the next stage, take a look at what is it that you're offering. Is your offer actually good? Is the product good? Is it clear? If you are getting customers but they're not staying long enough, right? Or they're not repurchasing or whatever, take a look at how are you servicing them once you got them? Like, are you creating a good customer experience or a client experience, one that shows them how much value you're delivering constantly? And so what you want to do is go through each stage of your funnel and check it out. But what mostly you need not to do is accept it as a failure. It's like, okay, interesting. Let me be curious about this. Let me kind of take the next step. Let me figure out what I can change to iterate on my process and see if I get from there. Like tenacity, doing things as long as you have to until you get it right is going to get you there. It will eventually, because you're going to be going through so many learning cycles, right? Learn, 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 learn. What's super interesting about some of the most successful people on the planet, no matter what category you look at, is they have just been through many, many learning cycles, more failures than you could possibly imagine, but they learn and move on and tweak and go to the next step. So failure is never final. That's the message for today. Hey, listen, I have finally launched, I've been talking about the marketing canvas forever, and I have finally published a free guide to the entire marketing canvas. So quick refresh on the marketing canvas, 9 simple steps that you need to go through to get your marketing strategy right, like 9 steps. And I published an ebook that walks you through all the 9 steps and really kind of like how the marketing canvas works. So if you want that, please go to freemarketingcanvas.com. Nice and easy to remember, freemarketingcanvas.com. I think it's going to be a lot of help for a lot of you. It's absolutely free. And that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow.